So I'm Chris. I'm the founder of Cosmic Frequency. I'm from the States, and I've been mentoring people on their spiritual journey since 2013. Almost 11 years or so, 10 years. And I started to realize that people needed something tangible in their lives, spiritually speaking, not something that was just in their head. I teach meditation. I have an online academy, and my work is designed to provide an atmosphere for people to cosmically, but also in a grounded way, advance along their path. Years ago, I was sitting by myself. I just had an apartment and just kind of going through my life, trying to figure things out. And I got the message. I sat down one night at my fireplace and I got the message that I was supposed to open a center. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what's the center called and why? And the message that I got was the heart center, because humans are learning how to live from their heart space, which is different than how we've been living. We've been living a very basic and survivalist mentality, where it's, how much money can I make, who can I, mate with, and, where's my entertainment? The message that I got was to help people transcend into a higher frequency of being, where instead of that, including that, it's, hey, how's your day? Now we're looking at the land and how we can become one with it. We're looking at the stars and thinking about altruistic ways of being versus just the bare minimum. So in order for that initial vision to come to fruition, I actually have the original notebook where I wrote down all these notes. And the first thing I wrote was the heart center, and then I wrote classes. We had different classes and different events that we were going to host at the center. And this is years ago. This is just something that was literally just an idea. And so we wrote things down like, meditation, yoga, contact with extraterrestrials, stargazing, culinary practices, martial arts. And this was all part of the plan to offer people a holistic spiritual experience. Because I feel like a lot of spirituality is pigeonholed. You're either this and you do that. And I see human beings as a conglomeration, thoughts, feelings, and ideas and expressions of the source. And so in order for that to be a reality, we need a physical space. The whole thing was about having a physical space to bring about these other aspects. And at that time, I didn't have any land. I hardly had any money. I didn't know where I wanted to go in the world. And through a series of events, I met some wonderful people, and I found myself here in South Africa. And the second I landed, literally landed in South Africa, there was a huge thunderstorm. And for me, thunder and lightning is like a direct confirmation from the heavens, and it's a yes. Furthermore, when I got to Kashindu, and the specific aspect of Kashindu, which is Tigers Canyon, everything kind of, unfolded from itself. The land started to open up. The animals, the cheetahs and the tigers, the whole atmosphere just vibrated this heart center frequency. And with that, the gentleman who actually invited me out here, he told me, he said, Tigers Canyon is the heart center, and Philippolis is the heart center of South Africa. And I was like, wait a second, I've had this project. And he's like, whoa, you gotta fly out. So yeah, that's kind of how we got things rolling. Okay. I had already been almost every single day sitting in meditation and feeling into the bigger vision, which is the heart center, which is providing an atmosphere for people to advance along their spiritual journey. That had been in my psyche, in my awareness for a while. And so I just show up, I give my sessions online, I mentor people, I help them understand the cosmos at large. I teach something called ether physics, so my work is very unique. It's very unique. And through one of the major talks I did on the Gaia TV network, actually with George Norrie, James, he found that interview, and he's just talking to me, we're having a great conversation. And he says to me, I have this vision to build a space for people to advance along the spiritual journey. And I said, James, I want to build a star temple where people can advance along the spiritual journey. And so we're both like, wow. And we're talking about how we can make contact with our star family, but also how we can have these spiritual experiences here on Earth. And essentially, we wanted to make this a reality. And so he says, I know this land in Philippolis, South Africa. I think you should come on out. South Africa Philippolis is the heart center of South Africa. And I said, James, are you being serious? He said, yes. And so he sends me all these pictures. And I'm like, I tell him about the Heart Center project I had from way back when. And that just led to, at first I kind of said, okay, okay, we'll see. About a week later, I'm back in meditation, looking to materialize. And I said, I wish there was just someone who could see what I'm doing and wanted to, and I was like, oh wait, that's already happened. So I messaged James and I say, hey, I'm gonna buy a ticket and we're gonna make this thing work. So it was this inner guidance, but almost immediate direct outer confirmation of this is what you're supposed to do. There's people back in the States who are counting and looking forward to something of this magnitude, because the Heart Center and the L.I.O.N Project, the funding portion of it, this is meant to create something very new. It's a model where we set up these star temples of true spiritual knowledge and direct experience with one spirituality all over, right? And so I think here in South Africa, this is the beacon point. This is the lighthouse of a much bigger vision, right? To have humanity now in a space of spiritual, physical, and emotional and mental maturity, where we get to grow up. A star temple is a temple that is not a contemporary building. Most modern buildings are built squares and rectangles, right angles. And when you study architecture and you study shape power specifically, you understand that there's a beautiful correlation between the human auric fields and shape. When you look at a specific shape on a piece of paper, or even if you draw it, you're creating what I call a node or ripple in the ether. The energy is starting to move in a specific pattern. So when you walk through a square, you are quite actually, boxing yourself in. Okay? The energy of the human, really all things, is fluid. It's spiral. It moves. It curves. And so the star temple is going to be made out of cymatics. So what do I mean by that? I've studied sound, frequency, shape power, and I'm putting all these modalities together into one. Cymatics is sound made visible. So when you play a specific frequency, it gives you a shape. We are taking that shape, we're extrapolating it into a 3D holographic image, which we've already done, and within that you can see an actual building, right? Now, how does this relate to the stars? The stars themselves are a frequency. There's a specific star in the night sky that I already know where I want to align the temple with, which is what the ancients used to do. That's what the pyramids are. And this is all about magnifying the energetic properties of the land and the people and the animals. It's creating a piezoelectric, we could say, 0-point energy effect. When you align a specific structure with the stars, that frequency is then directly connected to it. And so what we want to do is have people actually walk through the star temple, right? And they'll be walking through, let's say the frequency is 432 hertz. That's the cymatic. When they walk through the shape, now their aura can breathe, which means their physical body is at ease. And if the body is at ease, then the mind can be at ease. If the mind's at ease, you make better decisions and choices. This is also imperative because we want people to be in a place of empowerment. And because from that place we can expand our consciousness to reach out to the stars, to the cosmos, to our star friends, and have a more diverse interaction with them, where it's not so much these beings are just alien and out there. There's other people. So this is really a rite of passage. When I arrived in South Africa, in Philippolis, I didn't really know what to expect. But what I found was that what was happening here, and specifically Kishindu, which is the conservation reserve site here, they are directly aligned with the mission of the Heart Center and the L.I.O.N Project. So much so that Lana had already been planning on doing something with lions before she even knew anything about the L.I.O.N Project, which is the funding portion of the Heart Center. And their aim is to provide equally an atmosphere for an expansion of the human soul, but also for the land, and also for all the animals, really the whole ecosystem here. And so they showed me a part of Kishindu called Kleinkalis that has beautiful architectures already. So this land itself, it wasn't just like I showed up and this is a beautiful space and the people are great. It was more of there was a frequency match, because what Lana and Rodney had already established here was directly aligned with what I was looking to do with my life's work. And so whenever they showed me these other buildings in Kleinkalis, which is a farm down the road, I was amazed because the structures are here. It's going to take a little TLC, right? Which is, just a little bit of energy and renovation to have the accommodations, but everything is already set up. It's almost like my dreams are becoming a reality. And that's something that I want people to be a part of. I want people to see that you can truly materialize the experiences that you want. And Kishindu, the Heart Center, the L.I.O.N Project, in my mind, these are not two separate things. These are meeting frequencies to bring about a greater experience for humanity. And I think that's exactly why I landed here, because this is this space that is already cultivating that energy. It's already moving in that direction. What Lana and Rodney have done is a directly complementary to what I'm looking to do. Whenever people arrive at the Heart Center and we have the renovations, everything all set, what people are going to experience is different levels of their being, right? So the human being is not a singular organism. It is a multifaceted, multidimensional being. It's a soul. And so what that means is here, you're going to eat right. You're going to learn how to think in concepts, not just in a linear fashion. You're going to move your body and be aware of how the physical essence of you is equally important as the etheric. You're also going to learn how to harness energy and how to fuel yourself beyond the traditional ways. That means deeper meditations, dream and astral travel practice. And then from there, you can move into things like Qigong. You can move into the things like Tai Chi, different martial arts. And you learn how to connect with yourself in a way that you're not going to experience literally anywhere else. Because the focus here is the evolution, the transcendence of your consciousness. But probably something really fascinating to me is you're going to have that experience, but that's not the end of it. You now get to integrate all of that and come back to the land. And that's where you will now enter into Kishindu and Tigers Canyon, and you'll get to walk the land. You'll get to meditate on top of the cliffs. You'll get to see and visit and experience the tigers and the different wildlife that's here. And you will feel this integration of your cosmic self who's learning all these beautiful things at the Heart Center. But then you get to come over here into the lodge and just rest and relax and integrate everything and have the support of the cheetah, of the tiger, of all the different species that you're going to find here. So it's a really immersive atmosphere. And to me, I think this is one of the best things in the world. I feel like this is going to help so many people. So my life's work is meant to give people an experience, right? I always say cosmic frequency is an experience, right? When I'm mentoring someone, they say, "What do you do?" I say, "I provide an atmosphere for the advancement of the soul." And I think a lot of people think whenever I say cosmic frequency, they think it's this up here and then the stars, and in a way it is. But deep, deep, deep down, I have very deep roots, and those roots are here. And whenever I arrived here at Kishindu, the land itself had this beautiful dichotomy that I was seeing in a holistic point of view, where you're driving in the Jeep and you're going up these super rocky mountains and you're bouncing back and forth and you got to move, your body, but then you got to make sure your head doesn't hit the window, and you're having this really kind of immersive experience. And people know me, oh, there's Chris, he meditates. It's like, no, I came here and I got thrown around in the best way. But within that, you get to your point of destination, and then everything calms down again. You're sitting on top of the mountain and you're looking over and you're hearing the water running, and you're seeing the birds flying, and you're feeling the wind. And so there's this beautiful yin and yang energy that I experienced here. And I also got tested too. So emotionally for me, this was a week of spiritual progression. We went up to one of the hiking trails, and Daryl, one of the amazing cameramen, and he says, we go up to this really high point. He's looking over the edge. I'm like, what is he doing? And there's this rock, and then there's another one, and there's this 3 to 4 foot gap in the middle over this cliff. He looks at me and he says, hey, jump over here. And I said, wait, what? I said, is it safe? And he said, yeah, jump over. So I make the jump, and I had this jubilation with me, this excitement of like, whoa, I just did this. I accomplished this thing. So there's this spark that arose within me. And it's that spark that I think really landed and cemented that feeling of this is the place, because it can hold that kind of energy. It gives you that kind of experience. So yeah, it's profound. That's just one of the things. So in order for this project to come into fruition, in order for hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people to receive the spiritual experiences that they're looking for in their everyday life and beyond, we need assistance. This is not about me. This is not about, just one person having this grand idea sitting on a fireplace. This is about the human family. My goal here is to help humans peacefully advance and move into the next phases of consciousness. And so in order for the Heart Center to come into fruition, to be in service to those who are ready for it, we need funding. We can't shy away from the fact that things like this are inherently valuable to progression. And in this realm, in this planet, you need money to make that work. And so in order for the Heart Center to come into fruition, we're looking for people who can see the value, who have the conscious awareness to see that right now on planet Earth, we don't need more entertainment. We need more heart-centered experiences, places where people can experience themselves. And that's something that I am just the catalyst for. And so my job right now is to find the right people who have the right mindset, the spiritual aptitude, and the financial backing to support us, to bring this into fruition. Because I really feel that with what Kenshindu is offering, with what the Heart Center is, that there's going to be a massive shift in consciousness that is going to be physical and tangible, something real. In order to make things real, we have to have money. So with that said, I thank all of you for helping to support this work, for helping to support Cosmic Frequency, the Heart Center, and funding the L.I.O.N Project, so that maybe even you can come out and enjoy, stargazing and connecting with beautiful people. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I know this is going to be massively expansive for anyone that's involved.